Yes, them have the heart of a pagan. The children have the heart of a lion, I know. Evil a move with Satan. Righteous trod in the countenance of the Almighty One. Them have the heart of demons. The children have the heart of a lion, I know. Evil a move with Satan. Righteous walk in the countenance of the Almighty One. Poor people see hostility rising daily.
This is the Lord's judgments. If you lead someone into captivity, go ahead, shall go into captivity. If you lead someone into captivity, you must go into captivity. That man Castro down there in Cleveland, he's going to jail. He's going into what? Captivity. He's going to be held in a prison cell, and he's going to work in the washroom and in the cook line. He's going to be a slave. He's going to make license plates. He's going to work for the white man for the rest of his life in prison. That's called slavery. That man Castro was going into slavery in the United States penal system. Well, guess what? The white man brought us into slavery. So he should go into slavery too, according to God. If you don't believe it, then let Castro go. Let him go then. Say, well, Castro, you had them girls 10 years. Let's put it in the past. Let's forgive him. Why don't you forgive that man? Give me the story. Nobody got the story on them fancy phones. Please, go.
A Cleveland man was charged with kidnapping and rape Wednesday after investigators said he held 3 young women captive for years.
Held them what?
Held them captive for years.
From the top.
Slock it. Wednesday after investigators said he held 3 young women captive for years.
This happened this week. That man Castro in Cleveland held 3 young girls, what?
3 young women captive for years.
Oh, they were his captives. They were his captives for years. Go ahead.
Binding them with ropes and chains.
Binding them with what?
With ropes and chains.
Binding them with what?
With ropes and chains.
Those little girls were bound with chains for years. For years. They were bound with chains. Any more? Go.
And only allowing them out a few times in disguise. Ariel Castro, 52, is charged with 4 counts of kidnapping, covering the captives, and the daughter born to one of them.
So even the daughter who was born to one of those girls, his daughter, because he raped the young girl, he's going to be charged for kidnapping her as well, man. And listen, wait, more? Oh, Salaki. Now, wait a minute. A lot of people will say, well, if he brought him outside with disguises on, why didn't they just try to escape before 10 years? Tons of people say that right around, don't they? They say, well, hold up, man. Those little girls should have tried to escape before all this happened, before 10 years. Well, let me explain to you why those little girls didn't try to escape. Because once you chain somebody up for years, even after you take the chains off, the mental scars are so deep that they will not leave their captor. Furthermore, they will grow to love their captor. Furthermore, they will go to think that their captor is their family, and they should love him, and they should take hold of him. How do I know that? Because I'm a black man here in America, and I know what black people have done to white people. The white man held us in chains for so long that even after the chains were off of us, the mental scars ran so deep that we chose to love him even when we could have gotten free. Even when the chains were off of us, man. Read it again.
Revelation 13 and 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. Verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
I hope that man Castro does go to jail in Cleveland. He needs to before he get a hold of my daughter help. I got daughters too. I don't want him snatching up mine out when they walk to school. He should go to jail. And the so-called white man should serve out captivity for thousands of years. The so-called white man should pick cotton and cut sugar cane and babysit children and clean the streets and sweep up after on the floor and sweep the dust that comes off your boots. You know why? Because you did it for him. and you were held here captive, and he should be your captive. And let me tell you black people something. You would agree with us if you didn't have Stockholm syndrome. That's what black people have in America. And you white people know what I'm talking about. Black people in America have Stockholm syndrome, man. They cleave to their oppressor. They associate themselves and they love their oppressor because they were held captive for so many years. Now, any form of kindness that the so-called white man shows black people attach themselves to that kindness and forgive him for taking them captive in the first place. Those little girls ain't gonna do that in Cleveland. Those little girls, they on TV right now. They on TV, listen, even the man's daughter, she hate him.
We don't have Munster in our blood.
You never want to talk to your dad again?
No. I have no problem cutting him out of my life. I have no problem doing that. I never want to see him again.
She hate him.
I have no problem cutting him out of my life.
When the white man forgives that man in Cleveland that kidnapped those girls, I'll forgive the white man. No problem. No sweat. When you forgive Osama bin Laden for killing your people, I'll forgive you for killing mine. That's fair. That's more than fair, I would say. Let that man in Cleveland go. You Christians, get down to Cleveland, you protest, and you say, God is all love. Forgive him. Forgive. God is all love the way you do to us every damn week. But no, you want him to go to jail. You know why? Because you know this. Those 3 girls will never ever get healed unless that man pays for what he did. And you know it. You know it.
It's real tragic because she was taken against her will as well, and it's sickening. It's sickening because that could have, that could be anybody in that position. You know, in a blink of an eye, you can be abducted, brutalized, and nobody would ever know it. Brutalized, and nobody would ever know it.
Pray to God that he avenge you of the so-called white man.
That's right.
If the white man does not pay for slavery, then your life does not matter. And that's what that means. And white people know it. They know if nothing happens to them for what they've done to you, then you are not a human being. Because those 3 girls in Cleveland, they are human. And they're going to get justice for what happened to them.
That's right.
They're going to receive justice. Is the white man going to forgive that man in Cleveland? Is they going to say, I forgive you for kidnapping them white girls? God is all love. Jesus said forgive. Well, then forgive that man in Cleveland that kidnapped them 3 girls. Oh, you ain't going to do that. I know. You know why? Because those girls are human. And you are not considered a human being in America. Those 3 girls in Cleveland, they'll receive justice. They'll receive justice. Listen, they'll get counseling. They'll get help. They'll get tended to. They'll get cared for because of the trauma that they've been through for 10 years. And what do we receive in America? We're called lazy and useless. And we need to get up off our behinds and make something of ourselves. Tell those 3 girls to get up off their behind and make something of themselves then. Tell them 3 girls in Cleveland to stop complaining about it. Guess what, Celia? They got taken 10 years ago. Put that in the past. That happened 10 years ago. Shut up. We are not human in America, man. They don't consider us human beings. But here's the good news. The God that sits in heaven, whose name is Yahweh in the Hebrew, he knows that we are valuable and special and important. And he is going to enslave the white man for putting us in slavery.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Verse 5. Yet, because this widow troubleth me, I will avenge her.
I will what?
I will avenge her.
Because she kept asking.
Because she troubleth me,
Because she kept asking, I
will avenge her.
Because she asked day and night, I
will avenge her.
Because she didn't fall weak. She didn't forgive him. She didn't stop caring about the death of her children. This judge said,
I will avenge her.
the judge said, I'll give you justice, man. I'm going to give it to you. Now, you better ask yourself, what do you want? You want to keep being the only people on earth who have never received justice for what has happened to them? Now, what do you think will happen to your children, huh? Your children will grow up with the same low self-esteem that you have. How many years we got to hear about black people's low self-esteem? Who out here is old? If you're 60 years old, you've been hearing about how black people got low self-esteem. Since when? I can't, the 30s? Since the 30s, black people can never come together. Black people, we can never unify. Black people, we got low self-esteem. Let me explain to you heartless devils why black people have low self-esteem. Because you murdered us and nothing happened to you.
That's right.
Not you, of course, I'm speaking in general. Because you murdered us and nothing happened to you. So that means that I do not matter. Because you killed our children and you went free. So that means our lives do not matter. That's why we have low self-esteem. Because the white man, after enslaving us for 400 years, has prospered and grown and gotten rich off of our backs.
That's right.
Yes, them have the heart of a pagan. The children have the heart of a lion, I know. Evil a move with Satan. Righteous trod in the countenance of the Almighty One. Them have the heart of demons. The children have the heart of a lion, I know. Evil a move with Satan. Righteous walk in the countenance of the Almighty One. Poor people see hostility rising daily. Ignorant multiply brutality. I see that they run gone left mommy. Fi struggle the hard road with 5 beginning. Our I see baby having baby. Nothing that happen no do.